everyone, welcome to Fireshark. So today we are covering the Soho network, which is the second topic of Network Plus. So basically Soho network, what is the full form of Soho network? Small office, home office network. So it's a category of LAN and it has small number of computing hosts that typically rely on a single integrated appliance for local and internet connectivity. So basically who is like someone who is working from home and a small setup for their business, that's kind of setup is called Soho network. Basically they just have to connect their local network to the internet, and it is designed for simple and cost effective while providing the necessary functionality for a small number of users. Okay, so the main component in the whole network setup is the Soho router. Okay, so through this router the whole process the communication between the local and the internet is happened through this device. Okay, now it's basically providing connectivity between the local network and the wired network, and it operates at both the data link layer and the network layer. Like as I mentioned in earlier topic, in my earlier lecture, router is only work on network layer, right? But it works on every layer because it's a multifunctional network appliance. It combines modem, switch, wireless access point, router, firewall, multiple devices has included in one device, and that's called router. Okay, so basically we can say that it's a primary connectivity gateway for a local network. Okay, through this router setup you don't have to install multiple devices, right? So now let's understand their functionality on different OSI model layers. Okay, now next one, the first one is physical layer function. So the physical layer function, there is three main components. First one is RJ45 ports, LAN, which is also called LAN ports, radio antennas, and WAN ports. So in LAN ports you have to connect your local devices through the cable. Okay, and radio antennas work for Wi-Fi connections. Okay, suppose you have devices like laptops, smartphones, and tablets, and you need to connect them to through the Wi-Fi. So you can connect this system through this radio antennas. And the next one is WAN port. So basically WAN port is used for it's like a bridge between your local network setup and your ISP, which is internet service provider, like who provide you internet, which company provide you internet, and your local networking. It's like a act like a bridge. That's called WAN port. Now next one is data link layer. So on the data link layer there is Ethernet switch and a wireless access point. So through the Ethernet switch it allows devices connected to the LAN ports of the router and to communicate with each other, like by using the MAC addresses. It's basically integrates Ethernet switches for secure, efficient communication among wired devices using MAC addresses. Like through the MAC address, the local connection is prepared for the local connectivity communication. Okay, now the next one is wireless access point. So through the wireless access point we can connect wired and wireless segments. Okay, it's like a bridging wired and wireless segments. Now the next one is, at this layer each host interface is identified by media access control, which is MAC address. Obviously there is assigned MAC address which is only works on a data link layer. I have already mentioned in my previous lecture. So you can say that suppose when a device wants to send the data to another device on the same local network, and the Ethernet switch uses MAC address, so basically address to forward the data only to the specific device. So rather than broadcasting it to all the connected device, it's basically only used for the destination address. Okay, now next one is network layer. So at the network layer The routing part of the Soho router makes forwarding decisions like which routing path this router device have to choose, and like local private network and public network they have to communicate. So the basically routing and forwarding data packets works on this layer. Okay, so in the case of Soho router, this layer handle the modem movement of the data and between the local private and in the public network. So suppose like as I shared in earlier lectures, like every device have their IP address, okay, for the connecting network to network, right? So you have a local network and there is a internet, so you have to connect local network to the internet, and you have assigned a private IP address, and the local area network like internet has their public address, right? Public IP address. So you can't connect through the private app like private IP address to the internet public IP address. Why? Because it's somehow insecure, right? So you just need a NAT. Basically NAT is a network address translation device. Like it's basically convert your private IP address into a public IP address, and then you can connect your local network to the internet. Okay, so it's basically also good for security reasons, so anyone cannot breach your internally attached system. Okay, so it works like that. Suppose you have a system and your system wants to send a data, so it sends the data to the router and router examine destination IP address. So if the destination IP address is local, it forwarded to local network connected devices, but if its destination address is internet, then it forwarded to the NAT and convert the private IP address into the public IP address, and then through that IP address the router connect to the internet. Okay, so the whole process is again coming through the internet to the local devices. Now next one is on the transport layer and application layer and security function. So the security function on the these layers, transport layer and application layer works. So the first one is firewall. So firewall basically it works on layer 4, transport layer, and basically it monitors and controls the flow of data between the local private network and the public internet. Okay, and it also inspects the packet and applies rules to permit or deny specific types and traffic based on the security policies. Basically it's like a security wall between your local network and your internet. Okay, as it's mentioned here, like acts as a firewall by applying filtering rules. Basically it filters the data that which one is safe and good. Now next one is port based firewall rules. So basically as you know that every applications on the web server have a assigned port number. Okay, just like 84 HTTP, which is web server protocol, and the routers firewall can control traffic based on port specific rules. For security, certain ports like SMB may be blocked on the WAN interface but allowed at LAN and for internal use and preventing unauthorized internet access. Basically suppose you have a local connectivity, and at the local connectivity you can use the SMB. Okay, but on the WAN interface you can't use that port, because some maybe some outsider on the internet can breach your internal security and enter in your local network. Okay, on your private network. So the basically on the port based firewalls decide which a port should be connected and which port should not be connected to the local network and internet. Okay, so the now next one is encryption for wireless network security. So the wireless network is safeguarded by encryption, and this ensures only authorized devices with correct passphrase can connect. So basically it's authorization, like on the application layer and presentation and session layer the authorization is worked, right? So if you want to like connect to any web server, so first of all you have to authorize yourself and the internet also, okay? So this protocol secure the communication between the router and the wireless devices, basically by encrypting the whole uh, communication, okay? So now next one is administrative account passphrase. Passphrase in the sense of password setting up, okay? It's like a secret code that protects the control center of your internet router, and this control center is where you can change important settings to make sure our internet safe and working well. So basically through that setup administrative account you can create an admin account with the password for your local connectivity for your router, so that you can safely connect those local connectivity to the internet, okay? It's like a password setting, okay? Suppose when you set up a router or access its configuration setting, you have to create a username and password setup, right? It's access a barrier, like unauthorized access, ensuring that only users can access, and correct code with modification, okay? And if you want to set anything on your router with your specialization, so you can create that with your own private things, okay? Now next one is the internet. So uh, the internet is a global network of interconnected computers and computer networks. So basically it's a WAN network, and the internet is a very complex networking setup. Now next one is the public switch telephone network, PSTN. So this it's like a traditional telephone network that uses circuit switch technology to facilitate the exchange of voice and data transmission over the telephone lines. When we talk to the traditional telephone networks, so this is the technology where the circuit switch technology worked, okay? Now next one is internet service providers. So it's like a companies that provide access to the internet and offer services such as internet connectivity, mail and web hosting to individuals and businesses. So how much the internet thing from different companies we use, they are the internet service providers. They are called the ISPs who provide us internet, okay? A platform to work for email and web hosting also. So they are the ISPs. Now next one is internet standards and authorities. Basically this authorities handles the whole networking setup, like it's the functionalities of internet, how the internet work, how which modification should be happened on the uh, internet, and basically it describe the protocols, procedures and informational materials relevant to the functioning of the internet, which is related to the internet and need to be shared through the public domain, and everyone should be known that how the internet works, and through the IP address assigning to the registration of IP address, every thing related to internet this authorities works, okay?